can't wait. I can't wait for everybody to find out what's really been going on in the background.
It makes sense. What really does make sense is that Diddy has had a long career of using pussy to trap niggas into making them do what he wants to do or using them to move them out the way. How is Faith Evans any different than Lauren London? How? No different set of Diddy's house.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems to be more lawsuits coming out, men and women now. It just gets crazy and crazy.
What I say? They gonna drug you. They gonna put that 2C on you and let the good times roll, baby.
Jaguar Wright, the outspoken R/NB singer known for her early collaborations with The Roots, recently released a bombshell video that set the internet on fire. In the video, she alleges that Sean Diddy Combs has, for decades, operated a secret network of exclusive, invite-only events, what she refers to as FOSS. According to Wright, these gatherings were covertly recorded, capturing intimate encounters involving numerous high-profile entertainment figures. She further claims that these recordings have circulated through pseudonymous dark coin platforms, including a single sale reportedly worth $500 million.
DJ should be charged. Mary J. Blige should also be charged. Jennifer Lopez should definitely be charged. Jay-Z should be charged. Khaled should be charged. Rick Ross should be charged. Usher should be charged and tried with him off of Justin Bieber.
Wright's revelations come at a pivotal moment, as Sean Combs faces a federal trial on charges of racketeering and trafficking. Prosecutors allege that Combs manipulated and coerced women into exploitative and degrading situations. As Wright names celebrity after celebrity, she maintains that her claims are backed by detailed dark web monitoring and chain of custody documentation. The pressing question now is whether any of this will hold up under legal scrutiny, or if it will simply shine a brighter light on the long-standing culture of silence within the entertainment industry.
He was the devil. He's been the devil for 30 years. He's been covered and protected by not only Clive Davis, but Lucian Grange. He was selected to be the demon that he is, to keep the culture in line so the industry could continue to rape it.
Stevie J should be charged. Mary J. Blige should also be charged. Jennifer Lopez should definitely be charged. Should I keep going?
You're hitting it off.
Jay-Z should be charged. Khaled should be charged. Rick Ross should be charged. Usher should be charged. Jaguar Wright was out there yelling and screaming and yelling and screaming, "Monster, monster, monster, monster." And everybody kept saying, "She's lying, she's lying, she's lying." Meanwhile, the monster is, "Where's the baby oil in the butt plug? Let's go."
Wright begins by portraying Combs as a calculated operator who expanded his empire into the world of secretive gatherings known as FOS. At these events, she claims every intimate encounter was carefully documented. According to her, the multi-day, drug-fueled parties took place at secluded luxury estates in Los Angeles, Miami, and the Hamptons. Attendees, ranging from commercial escorts to celebrities, were required to sign strict non-disclosure agreements, only to become subjects of hidden recordings once they crossed into restricted areas. Wright alleges that Combs didn't just record these encounters. He transformed them into NFT-linked digital assets and sold them on underground marketplaces in exchange for Darkcoin, a cryptocurrency designed to evade regulatory and legal oversight.
Prostitute and actress meant the same thing in 1865. If you were called an actress, that meant you were a prostitute. See, it's the evolution of the...
Yeah.
Look at Young Miami.
Oh,
look at that girl.
Yeah, we look.
Diddy brought me to my womanhood. Diddy, and I just said, baby, you need to work this out. You need to figure this out. Has everyone now that she's being named in these lawsuits now figured out that this is a acting ass liar?
Yeah, I'm still
Drea Kelly talking.
Yeah, I'm still stuck on her saying I like to get peed on and,
And that's supposed to be normal.
Yeah, to normalize it for the world at least. I'm like, damn, keep that between
Funny
you and
thing is, the 13-year-old girl who R. Kelly peed in her face on that video after having, statutory, whatever he had. Well, think about that. That was glorified.
Correct.
That video was everywhere. And now we got girls say, I love it when he pees on me.
Yeah.
Do you see the evolution?
Yeah, that video the DVD was being sold like...
First time I saw it was in a music studio.
Damn.
Like every other industry porn. First time I saw Paris Hilton's tape, A Night in Paris, was in the studio. The first time I saw Mary J. Blige being gang raped on camera at Death Row after hours was in the studio. Why would all of this illicit be in a place where music is supposed to be being created, energy, why would all of that be happening? Why would these things be hitting there before they make it out there to the world? If it wasn't working hand in hand to begin with.
Now, there's a viral video going around where Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre are sitting there and they were on TRL. Mm-hmm. And Dr. Dre's like, hey.
I don't know why ain't nobody talking about when Carson Daly went to them Diddy parties. Because Carson Daly did go to them Diddy parties. Oh. No different than Ashton Kutcher.
Damn. Okay.
No different than Hype Williams. Oh. Why don't nobody want to talk about Hype Williams?
Wright opens by casting Combs as a calculated mastermind who expanded his influence into the shadowy world of elite, invite-only gatherings known as FOS. At these events, she claims, every intimate moment was meticulously recorded. Describing them as multi-day, drug-fueled parties hosted at private estates in Los Angeles, Miami, and the Hamptons, Wright alleges that both celebrities and escorts attended under tight non-disclosure agreements, only to become unwitting subjects of hidden surveillance once they passed beyond the velvet ropes. She further claims that Combs went beyond merely filming these encounters, converting the footage into NFT-linked digital assets and selling them on covert marketplaces in exchange for dark coin, a cryptocurrency designed to avoid detection by regulators and law enforcement.
Day of the raid.
Yeah.
I got a lot of notifications. I got a lot of ads. I got a lot of mentions. I got a lot of phone calls. Or as many as I could get because I had to change my phone number again because, they did the bomb threat. And then they lied and said that I was trying to commit suicide live online with a knife and sent the police to my door.
What's that you're showing? These
are the police cards.
Oh, wow.
Of my address that was doxed by Patrice Garner, Chatty Patty.
Wow.
For a bunch of crazy motherfuckers to come to where I live. Y'all cute.
Another one. Oh.
And another one.
Oh, wow. Okay. So address out there, police looking for you.
Phone number doxed by last YouTube boyfriend. I had a YouTube girlfriend and a YouTube boyfriend. I don't know why they always send the stupid ones. I keep telling them, don't send a stupid mother to do a smart job.
That's real. That's real. And this is about to be a great conversation because when you say YouTube boyfriend and girlfriends.
Yeah, YouTube has been sending me people.
Yeah, we didn't even get
Ever since they had to keep my husband quiet because, once he gets arrested for blowing up the car, he's going to have no choice but to snitch on how YouTube paid him to betray his wife and, make sure his wife went to jail so that they could poison her to death.
We're going to circle right back to that. Jeez Louise. Oh, my God. So when you said the day of the raid, you're talking about the raid on both Miami and California.
And New York. simultaneously.
Wait, New York was
Yeah,
attached
the
to
New
that?
York house was raided as well.
Oh wow, that didn't even. Yeah, they didn't even really.
3 states working in tandem, and they did not tell the officers who they were raiding. They went in tactical as they were instructed to. They didn't know they was raiding Diddy's house. The higher-ups didn't tell anybody because they knew, with Diddy being a Fed informant, that he had people in the force and they wanted to make sure that went through legit. So they ain't tell nobody whose houses they was going to.
And that's why you see the guns.
The cops didn't know that it was Diddy's house over there in Beverly Hills around the corner from the Playboy Mansion. They didn't know until they seen the kids.
So, what are your thoughts on the show of force, even not knowing?
They did their
Wright outlines a timeline that traces Combs's alleged activities from his rise in the 1990s to the present day. She recalls hearing early whispers about FOS gatherings as far back as 1998, shortly after Bad Boy Records began producing platinum-selling hits. Even then, she claims, there were rumors of tapes stored in a heavily guarded vault within Combs's inner circle. As his empire grew to include fashion, liquor brands, and television ventures, Wright says, so did the scale of these secret events and the value of the footage captured. By the mid-2000s, she alleges, Combs had fully refined the operation, exclusive invitations, covert filming, tokenizing the content, and selling it to the highest bidder.
That bragged about being his friend. Everybody that bragged about going to Diddy parties, and if you want to be rich and if you want to be famous, you got to make it to a Rock Nation brunch or a Diddy party. Newsflash, Jay-Z's still on a milk carton. Not even the devil's friends are loyal. We got to get real. It's time to get real. And in the conversations that we've been planning to have and share with the world, especially this next conversation, all I ask is that everybody that's watching, stop thinking this shit is entertainment. Why would he sell on the dark net his tapes of all the just terrible? Wanna know why? Because he doesn't intend to stand trial.
Is he protecting people or are people protecting him?
Oh no, he's selling it because he needs the cash. The last freak off tape that just got sold on the dark net, which I know because I monitor, went for $500 million. It had multiple stars in it. Nicki Minaj, Rihanna, Chris Brown.
Orlando Brown said Diddy's not going to jail. He said,
I can understand why he would say that.
yeah. Can you break that down a little bit more? Why you think he said that?
Well, considering that the is selling his own evidence that would put him in jail against him on the dark net to the highest bidder. Why would he sell evidence of his debauchery and savagery?
How come you think it doesn't get leaked to the public?
The dark net?
Yeah, like...
Because of the dark coin. Most people don't even know that the dark coin exists. But that's how they're trading for all of the flesh they sell. Which is why I became so outraged last year when the twins turned 16 and he had them dressed like prostitutes and then he auctioned them off as NFTs.
At the heart of Wright's monologue is a startling list of alleged participants. She names Justin Bieber, Chris Brown, Rihanna, Nicki Minaj, Drake, and others, claiming that footage involving each of them exists and might ultimately surface in court. Wright insists that none of these individuals consented to the public release of the recordings and that their legal teams are well aware of where the files are stored. That's why you don't hear a word from them, she says, suggesting they're guarding more than just their reputations. They're safeguarding evidence that could potentially end careers.
Nobody had to look at him for real. And the truth is nobody did. Everybody laughed and joked about him dancing like a idiot in all them goddamn videos, twirling around in circles. This nigga been wild, So I'm just saying, they didn't know, and he wasn't telling them. They just know he got the budget. He go to LA, he talk to Clive, he come back with the bread. Apparently, he has this man's confidence. Yeah, I'm sure that man was very confident with his penis in his mouth.
Wright then shifts focus to the legal implications of her claims. With Combs already facing charges of racketeering and trafficking, and prosecutors alleging he used threats and force to compel participation, she connects these accusations directly to her FOS narrative. Wright alleges that guests who refused to comply were subjected to intimidation, warned that compromising footage could be leaked, or threatened with sabotage to their personal lives and careers. She recounts a chilling incident in which an unwilling participant was quietly escorted out at dawn and told their career would be over within 48 hours if they dared to speak out.
Diddy is a drug dealer, and so is Jay-Z. The proof is there. How many up people does he have to be around before people see him for who he is?
It seems like these artists are trying to run away from their past. Diddy changed his name multiple times to say, that's not me, I'm trying to move beyond Diddy, I'm Love now. It seems like Jay-Z would try to run away from his past.
Calling that love and anything that he did love. Brother.
Here's a refined version of your text with improved clarity and flow. Wright then makes a shocking allegation involving minors, claiming she discovered a case where 16-year-old twins were presented at a private event in Calabasas. She alleges they were styled and filmed in an explicit manner, then tokenized as NFTs and sold in dark coin auctions. While Wright admits there is no public record to substantiate her claims, she insists that subpoenas will uncover testimony confirming this disturbing scenario. The mere suggestion of such misconduct has already reignited public outrage, even though official filings remain silent on the question of underage involvement.
Diddy's dick a long time. It's time for him to learn how to make this thing happen without the devil's dick in his mouth or ass.
You don't think if he sued, he'll just Lil Woody the situation and I don't recall? I don't recall.
No, because I think if a victim comes out against Usher, it'll show how egregious this shit is.
I mean, I'm 13 years old. I'm not here to party with you. I don't want to go to the clubs. Matter of fact, I'm too young to even be in here. Why you got me in clubs? There were a lot of things I seen and a lot of positions that I think I was put in where I had to make very, very tough decisions in my life about who.
Wright preemptively counters skepticism by detailing the evidence she claims to have: chain of custody logs, blockchain transaction records, timestamp data matching private event dates, and sworn testimonies from former security staff. She maintains these materials prove an ongoing operation of exploitation rather than random occurrences. By casting herself as a whistleblower defending victims of abuse, Wright seeks to reinforce her credibility while legally safeguarding her allegations against defamation challenges. The rewrite tightens the narrative while preserving all key elements: the evidentiary claims, the systematic nature of the alleged crimes, and Wright's strategic positioning. It flows better while maintaining journalistic gravity. I kept the technical terms, chain of custody, blockchain timestamps, for authenticity, but made the overall structure more compelling.
You know what? I got a better question.
Yeah.
How valuable is a Biggie Smalls verse?
Yeah.
Puffy has been making money off of Biggie's name for longer than Biggie was alive. People keep forgetting he hadn't turned 25 yet. He was still 24 when he died. It's been over 25 years. Puffy has been making money on that boy's name longer than he lived. It supported all of that boy. His catalog. It's clearly a Biggie Smalls verse. It's very valuable. Am I wrong? Does anybody disagree with me?
No, that's fact.
Social media erupted in immediate and polarized reactions as hashtag #FORevelations trended globally on Twitter. Supporters celebrated Wright as a heroic whistleblower exposing systemic corruption, arguing that silence enables abuse. Critics dismissed her claims as unsubstantiated conspiracy theories, demanding concrete proof of the alleged dark web transactions. The comment sections under Wright's YouTube video transformed into chaotic battlegrounds of speculation. Users debated which celebrities might finally break their silence, with theories growing increasingly sensational by the hour. The digital frenzy amplified both scrutiny and skepticism, reflecting the divisive nature of Wright's explosive allegations. This version maintains journalistic integrity while intensifying the narrative tension. It clearly contrasts the opposing viewpoints while illustrating how online platforms escalate controversies. The language remains sharp and engaging without sacrificing factual reporting. Reactions.
It's my girl Jaguar Wright. A lot of you may know Jaguar Wright at this point from being on Piers Morgan and being somewhat sort of a whistleblower for the music industry when it comes to people like P. Diddy and Jay-Z. But Jaguar yet again has raised another great point about all of the celebrities that are saying that they actually went to Diddy parties, but they quote unquote left before the second party started. And she had her own idea of why that is happening and why so many celebrities have the same story.
Why they came up with the story. Well, you know, there's a party inside the Diddy party, and I went to the first party, but I left early. I never made it to Diddy After Dark. There were public relations teams right after Diddy got arrested running around telling everyone to say that. The question is this. If all you went to was the first party and you didn't know anything about the After Dark, why would you?
Entertainment lawyers, speaking anonymously, warn that even unverified FO allegations could lead to civil lawsuits. Potential claims might include invasion of privacy, emotional distress, and punitive damages, not just against Combs, but also against unnamed individuals involved. If such tapes exist, anyone filmed without consent could become a plaintiff. One attorney told The Hollywood Reporter, civil suits could outlast Combs's criminal trial, dragging other celebrities into discovery and depositions.
When Diddy goes and gets into trouble and you need to convince the white people you're still in control, you bring Kendrick Lamar, who we already know you don't like for the way he embarrassed you on Don't Kill My Vibe, the remix. But we also know you got ties in TDE, Sean Carter, and you got a switch on top.
The defense team has responded in court filings by moving to block subpoenas for dark coin records and challenging the relevance of NFT metadata. They argue that the prosecution is relying on an unverified narrative designed to influence public opinion. According to the defense, blockchain transaction logs are not properly authenticated, and any FO recordings, if they exist, could be manipulated or misattributed. Their legal strategy centers on casting doubt over the origin and integrity of any potential video evidence.
Mama got a tape. Jennifer Lopez has multiple tapes. I know Beyonce got a tape. Stevie J and Eve. Drake got a tape. I know Rihanna got a tape. I know Chris Brown's on one of them tapes. I know Trey Songz has been like a supporting actor in many films. Definitely Usher. I think what would shock people are the politicians and the royals. And I'm still trying to figure out when Harry and Meghan are going to be honest about their freak-off tape. The royal family has many times.
Behind the courtroom maneuvers, insiders reveal a deep-seated culture of fear and control. Former staff members described strict gag orders and non-disclosure agreements rigorously enforced by Combs's security detail. One former assistant claimed she was fired after refusing to hand over passwords to encrypted hard drives, while another recalls being abruptly escorted off the property after expressing discomfort about certain recordings. These disturbing anecdotes, though not yet formalized into testimony, contribute to Wright's portrayal of an operation maintained through intimidation and silence.
Interesting that Diddy bought a house that just so happened to have tunnels underneath it that go to the Playboy Mansion, allegedly. I don't know why. They don't ever seem to talk about the Playboy Mansion. They talk about Bill Cosby and all the Playboy bunnies that he underage.
Now guess what? Will Smith don't know Diddy either.
Will Smith don't know Diddy either.
It's a whole like virus, G. It's I don't know Diddy.
Either cuts her narration with stills of private jet hangars, glimpses of luxury estates, and blurred frames of what she calls FO footage. She uses these visuals to highlight the vast scale of Combs's resources, lavish settings where cameras were concealed in chandeliers, framed artwork, and bathroom vents. She argues that this level of sophistication points to premeditation, suggesting that Combs planned these events not as spontaneous parties, but as deliberate data collection operations.
Do you believe that Britney was next to Diddy and
Absolutely. Absolutely. All of those girls, all of those Mickey Mouse girls, including Christina Aguilera, all of these children have been thick. Part of the reason why they can't tell you is because they were drugged when most of what was happening to them was happening. And what they have left are the memories and the nightmares.
You believe that Bieber has been trying to expose Diddy for years? Because if you look at his Yummy video, there's a lot of indicators that he was trying to expose what these elites are really doing to children. He used pizza images a lot.
Rihanna, all of them. Listen to their music after they get their big hit record and their deal. That Lou Taylor is friends with Diddy. They're all listed on the charter of that same church.
And they all...
And Lou Taylor's on the board, and they all have to pay tithes, and they have to pay the pipe.
Mary J. Blige, she's been there since the very beginning. She was pushing, 26? When she was having intimate physical engagement with Danny Boy, was 15, 16 years old.
This Mary J. Blige, I'm 15, 16 years old, and she flying me in. And you know what it is when a girl back up on you and you young.
Allegedly, one of those tapes that Courtney Burgess say that he never saw was with Diddy, a very 16-year-old and a very 26-year-old Mary J. Blige.
Mary J, Danny Boy. Danny Boy back then, he was about 16. They both was out.
Dudes that she was messing around with that was in the industry, was they R&B singers or producers or?
Producers and singers. Two guys with one girl, it's a little questionable to me. And it's a lot of people that can say that they've done it, but it's a lot of people that it's a habit for them.
As she nears the end of her monologue, Wright issues a powerful and direct challenge. If you were there, come forward. Bring your receipts, your logs, your passwords, anything that can help uncover the truth. She promises a follow-up video featuring witness interviews, new documents, and compelling evidence once legal barriers are lifted. Her closing line is stark and unforgettable. This isn't gossip. This is your legacy on tape. This bold declaration has only intensified growing public calls for transparency, justice, and full accountability.